I'll show you guys something here. The power company came through here, and I had a old fence in here all the way down to my gate, and they asked me if they could take it out. I said sure. Came up here and they used one of those, I don't know, flailing machines or whatever that kind of disintegrates whatever's in front of it and pretty much pulverizes ground. And you know, when they were done, it had the appearance that it had been plowed. Just actually, it looked more like it had been rototilled. But I think about this a lot, that everybody's always worried about what to plant, and that's not something that doesn't need consideration. But to me, if you're wanting ground that wildlife likes, especially ground birds, which is suffering for many reasons these days as far as habitat, but basically anything. To me, the main part, you'll see this, I threw some sunflowers in here because I was planting them somewhere else, but other than that, what comes up after you kill, and I know, this isn't everybody all the time, but the seeds are there. This is 3 weeks after, and most of that was a drought, really bad weather. I mean, this stuff was like powder for a while, and it rained a couple times, and this is prime ground for ground birds, little chicks. This is what they like and need because they can get in there and navigate, and they can peck off bugs off of these stems, and it does. You don't have to spend a lot of money and find the perfect plot and manage it. You can that will succeed. That can work just as well or better. But if you're like most people and you're pressed for time and money, just killing out. Especially if it's been mowed. What if you mow for a season, you're pretty much guaranteeing poor habitat for anything other than humans to drive or walk on. But again, this is all good stuff, and it won't always be. This is an oak tree. Even if I didn't have the power lines here, I wouldn't want that there because I'd like to keep this as an edge type habitat. But this ragweed, I think it's giant ragweed and ragweed radwig. Somebody probably has a more specific, proper term for it. But we've got, what else we got in here? We've got natural stuff. Again, it's just coming up on its own. Queen Anne's lace here. Some type of vine that I can't identify. Maybe it's poison ivy. I'm not afraid of poison ivy. So I don't get it, but I've watched deer walk across. This is a true story. I've watched deer walk across my food plot of very expensive, and I was really proud of them too, Austrian winter peas to go nibble on, to go eat ragweed berries. So here's some poison ivy berries. I watched them eat, and that was kind of a little frustrating. But pokeweed coming up there, and I mean, that's a young walnut. You don't want. There's some, I think that's pale yellow coneflower. This stuff here made it to where my sister will never come back to my farm ever again. It's wild parsnip. She can look at that stuff and pretty much needs to get in her car and start headed towards the ER. But in this area here, I had, which I got a kick out of, I had a very rare plant. It was called pale Indian plantain. Came up right here by my entrance to my farm, and I had no idea what it was. If something looks really cool and has really pretty flowers on it, it's usually terrible for your farm and you need to kill it immediately. So I got on the internet and found out that's what it was, pale Indian plantain. And it's the one thing I was disappointed by. If this guy would have started his would have went another 4 feet this way, he probably, because it was like right here, and those things are biennial, but it didn't come back, and I saved the seeds from it, but I don't think there was any around, so they're probably sterile. But yeah, you know, it's just something that I do a lot, and you know, the if you get in with a biologist, you know, they'll tell you as a maintenance practice just to disc, burn and light disc, and you know, that helps the, you know, one of the things you want is bare ground. You don't want plants everywhere if you're looking for good habitat for quail to raise their birds, and you know, and also diversity. You know, I mean, that's another thing that you got to go. I mean, I think you got to go to school to learn that. I don't know, because I went to school, but diversity is pretty much anybody that's got success on something that's ecologically related, not hunting related, ecologically related. If they're doing well, they usually is synonymous with having diversity on their place. And as you can see, there's all kinds of stuff coming up here. Most of it, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's cocklebur. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. It's a good thing about the internet. Somebody, the minute I planted it, somebody watching this probably knew what it was. So this is that's a young Osage orange. I hate those, but I see them for sale online. They serve a purpose. There's all kinds of invasive stuff over here. Not really, well, I mean, this is, I call it honeysuckle. I've really never stopped to determine the actual true name of it. I think that's what it is, but there's multiflora rose in there. You know, and as you see, this is the part that they didn't dig up. There's a lot of shingle oaks coming up in there. Some more of that stuff. I mean, I spray gallons on that stuff alone. I hate it. All right, it's enough babbling on. Well, here's another thing here. This is the vine honeysuckle, and that's extremely hard to control once it gets out of control. And all gone from where the power company came in and did me a favor here by clearing their easement.